All right, we are back for season 2, and I am absolutely extremely excited because we have a special extra bonus today. I tried to get my first guest on for a time tomorrow, and it turns out now that they've moved to Spain, the time doesn't work for us. But as things work out with all the technology we have, got it checked in today, and like, can we jump on today? And we're like, let's make this was it they just make things work. And I really, as we kick off season 2, can't thank Swivel and Bulb enough for their continued support as we move forward and continue to bring individuals together and build our strong communities. And this is kind of where I met our first 2 guests at an event and actually over some nachos down in Miami. And it was great to really get a chance to see their growth and now to see their new adventure. I said, we got to bring you on and share what you're doing next. So without further ado, as they are known as the eTwinz, but I wanted to bring Mario and Alberto on all the way from Spain. It's amazing that my first guests are from Spain and tomorrow's guest is from Australia. So that's pretty exciting. So guys, welcome in.
Thank you so much. You have a pretty international program, like a pretty international podcast.
Unintentional, that just shows how the stronger together mindset works, where you create connections and friendships and you can stay connected and learn from each other from wherever you are.
Thanks to technology, right? You were talking about it, and like this just happened today. Kind of like, do you want to do it now? Okay, let's jump now and do it. It was great. So thank you for the invite to be here. We are super excited to be here with you.
Yeah, awesome. So you're saying here with me, where are you? Because last I knew you were in Utah teaching elementary school, and now you're like, yeah, the time doesn't work. We're not in Mount. So for those individuals who are like, where did the eTwinz go? Where'd you go?
So to give the audience a little background, like we were teachers in Utah, 5th and 6th grade, at a Spanish immersion school. So we taught everything pretty much in Spanish. And then we started our own consulting company like 3 years ago. And then the consulting side grew up so much that we ended up having 2 full-time jobs. So we were like, okay, we need to decide. We cannot work like 12, 14 hours per day.
It was way too much. It was way too much. Even for my mental health, I was just like, I remember one day that I told Mario, like, we need to stop. We need to make a decision right here, one or the other, because I cannot do both anymore, Because
well, that's a good thing to have in this business where you're getting, like, you're turning things down, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I mean, it's a good symptom. It's a good thing. But we were like, okay, we need to decide one. So we decided to go full-time consultant, and we can do it online. So like, I mean, we're going to be traveling to US like quite a lot, but we can do it online. So we were like, now that we can work online, what about if we go back home and we are close to our family? So that's how we decided to move back to Spain, to just keep working with all of our clients and everyone in USA, and then expand to Europe and Middle East and all of that area.
So one of the things I've learned in this kind of lane of the profession, and meeting both of you, of course, but meeting many individuals who go to events, and then I see individuals online who just say, hey, I'm a consultant, I'm a speaker, I'm a this, I'm a that, and they don't say what they do. And it does frustrate me, because when I see real individuals like yourselves, like mutual friends like Jenny Long and Slee and Yuritsa and Anne from Flipgrid, they're doing the work. So one of the things I always ask, like, you just moved into this lane, what could individuals reach out to you for? What are some of the services that you will do for individuals to support them?
So we are focused on technology in the classroom, digital transformation, but we are focusing on technology in a different way that many people do. And we always say that what makes us different is like we use technology to create meaningful learning experiences. So, for example, during the COVID pandemic, a lot of people were focusing on the top 10 tools to do whatever,
Right,
or the
right.
top 10 features on Microsoft Teams, top 10 features on whatever, but we were focusing on how to create a meaningful learning environment where you can engage the learners, using those
Absolutely.
tools. So our focus is not the tool, it's how to use the tool to engage, empower those learners. So that's what makes us different. Like, we think that our focus on pedagogy over the tool.
And I would say that we also focus on pretty much everything that you can think of a student-centered approach. So having the student creating instead of teacher, like you can think of like many different approaches, from, I don't know, creating a podcast, filmmaking, or something like social and emotional learning, which is also a student-centered approach. So whatever, like, you can think of a student creating, a student engage on just learning and creation, and all of that is like what we really focus.
And being more specific on the services we offer from coaching to teachers to whole digital transformation of schools, of institutions, like from the teacher, which is the small part, the kind of like more like micromanaging part, to more the macro, which is like full digital transformation of schools, culture change of schools and institutions.
Yeah, and I think what's always impressed me about your work is you take that teacher lens. You say, this is, you don't just come and say, do this. You show some of the work. And I know I've had you on different things that we've done, and it's always impressed me now. So when you do this work in this consulting, and Alberto talked a little bit about coaching, are you also going to be providing that long-term coaching, not just the drop in and here, do it like this, and then fly to the next country, but really working with teachers? And as a principal, as a former principal, I've always liked the consultants and coaches and learning advocates that you are, to stay and have that long relationship. Is that something that you're looking to dive into?
Yeah, we always say, like, and that's a common mistake, like, and I'm sure you've seen it like many times, those professional development or like those trainings that it is like a 1 hour training or even like full day
Yeah.
trainings. If that doesn't have any follow-up, it's not gonna work. Like, we are, I mean, we are even just getting into the classroom with the teacher, right? Just like getting into the classroom and teaching like a sample lesson, or
Co-teaching, we
like
do a lot of co-teaching with
we've
teachers.
done
We do a lot of like
co-teaching, like, okay, this is how you need to do it, or like, if you don't want to do it this way, let's find out another way. And then we sit down with them, even with from the planning stage. Well, okay, let's plan this. How are you going to plan your lesson? This is your lesson from last year. How we can make this a student-centered approach, or how can we change this to incorporate tools and make it more meaningful? So from that stage all the way to just like just teach the lesson.
Awesome. And one of the other things that I was reading, now that you're in Spain, you're also doing a Spanish academy or something along those lines. I'd love for you to expand more on that, to share what that work is going to be.
Yeah, so we were teaching Spanish in the classroom. I mean, we were teaching pretty much every subject, every class: science, math, language arts, all in Spanish, because we were working in a Spanish immersion school. So we are going to continue doing what we used to do in the classroom, but in our own institution. So we've been working in this academy for years. This idea of, okay, like, the way languages are taught is not the right way to teach languages. We had this idea for years, and like a couple of years ago, we said, okay, why not we create our own institution where we can teach the way we believe is the best way. We can use the materials we really believe they are the best for students. So we decided to do that, and we launched the academy a couple of months ago. So we are starting that new area of our business of eTwinz education. We have the consulting part, and also we have the academy part, which is we're super excited for that.
So if individuals now, if you're watching live or on the recording, the website's down below. Can they find all this information on the website? Like, where's the best way to find all of that you're doing?
So we have two websites. The first one is eTwinz.com, and you can find all of the information about consulting and all of that over there. And then we have the eTwinz Academy, .com. That is just only the academy. But if you access eTwinz.com, there's like a little section that it will take you to the academy. So like if you access that website, that it's over there, you can just access to the academy. If you want to learn Spanish, if you're an individual, or even we're planning on working with institutions. Let's say that there's a school in Massachusetts, for example, right? And they can't find a native Spanish speaker to teach Spanish, so we want to partner up with those schools, with those institutions, to offer Spanish online, with our academy, because it's
So
sometimes it is very very hard to find native speakers to teach a language. So like
Absolutely.
if you can do it online, so it's great, because we offer not only just Spanish classes, but we are going to offer like visits to museums, or like even cooking classes, like that cultural piece that sometimes it's missing in when we are teaching languages. It's super important for us as well.
So we are working with individuals and institutions, as Mario was saying, that are interested in externalize the language department through us. So those are the main focus that we are having right now.
Awesome. And you said to visit the eTwinz website, and then I put the Academy website down there as well, and they can contact you directly through that site. I'm guessing somewhere on there's a form, and they can get in touch with you.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So now, one of the things I've also been impressed at the work that you've done is that you, again, not just focus on the tool, as you said, but you focus on the student-centered approach. And as a principal and someone now as a district leader who's really trying to bring in that creative sense, what would you share to teachers who are starting the school year, at least here in New England, where I'm from? We're going to be starting in a couple weeks. What student-centered approach mean to you? And what will you like to tell them to do for this student-centered approach?
I think the the biggest part or the biggest fear that we see in teachers is that when they need to lose the control of the classroom, right? So when we talk about a student-centered approach, we are putting the focus on the student. The student is the one who needs to drive their own learning, and the teacher needs to lose that power, to put that power on the student. And that step is the hardest for teachers, because
It's not
we are
just like a lesson, it's like a change of mindset. It's what Alberto was saying. Instead of just doing a lecture, that like teacher is talking for 45 minutes, there are like many, many different ways and many approaches where the teacher doesn't need to talk for 45 minutes and then give a paper and the students just fill out that paper or answer the questions. Like you can just transform that lesson into something meaningful that the student is the one who is working. Like not just sitting in their desk listening at what the teacher needs to say. Like we need to change that, and like it's the student who needs to be doing the work, not the teacher.
So pretty much what we always say, that in the more like traditional approach, the teacher is the source of learning. The learning comes from the teacher. In this new approach of a student-centered approach, the teacher is the facilitator who helps the student to find that knowledge, to develop those skills that will be really useful in the future.
No, and I think that's critical in this process. One of the things I'm doing, I'm actually in the process of writing another book in collaboration around disrupting the status quo, and this is talking about that, changing that mindset, changing that approach. And I just finished a section on building teacher confidence. So I'd love to get your input, because we talk about it, and I've seen you speak on it, and I'm sure within your classrooms you're comfortable doing that. But what about if someone's not comfortable with that approach? What would your advice be to them to start to turn over some of that autonomy to the students?
I would start with baby steps. Always in everything you do, start small. Because like sometimes you go to a conference or to a training and you see something that it's amazing and you are like, wow, I want to do that in my class, right? Like I want to do that lesson. But for that teacher, for that facilitator to get to that point, probably like that person started small and made a lot of different mistakes. So my tip, what I would do if I would start over, is to just start small, baby steps, and don't give up. We always say that probably 95%, the first lesson you try, it's going to be a disaster. Like probably nothing's going to work. Probably your students are not going to follow directions. They are not going to finish. Just count on that, because it's just such a change of approach that like students are not used to do that. Like they are not used to think. They are not used to do all of the work. And you as a teacher, you're going to need some time to get used to that. So just start small and just don't give up and just embrace those failures, because you're gonna fail. It's gonna be a disaster at the beginning, but if you persevere and you keep going, it's gonna be great.
When we coach teachers and we work with schools that want to start implementing that new kind of approach, we always work with 10-month roadmap, like 10-month roadmap, because we need to look at the long term. If we start small and we keep increasing how we teach or how we bring these kind of approaches, it's going to be great. So we need to start small, learning from the mistakes, and from there, like sit down with the principal, sit down with the coach that is helping you, and go over the lesson that you just did, or just deliver, and then go to the next step. Okay, today we're going to implement this, and then the next couple months, okay, I need to do this. So start small, and if you can have a roadmap to do that, that will help you a lot to know next steps and how you can learn from those mistakes that you made that month or during that period of time.
Awesome. Now, one of the things that really caught my eye in the last few weeks is I'm really connected with Future of Education Technology event. I've been there multiple times. Was honored to be one of the feature speakers.
We met there actually.
We actually met there.
Yeah.
So now I saw your faces on there. So you're going to be one of two of the featured speakers, which is phenomenal. It's a great choice, by the way. What can individuals expect when you come back to, actually it's not in Florida this year, it's in New Orleans, when they go to New Orleans and see the two of you in your sessions or whatever you're going to be chatting about? What are they going to expect?
They can expect what we always say, like we deliver all of our sessions based on our experiences and based on other teachers' experiences. So we show like real world examples. We show like a student's testimony in our sessions. We want to bring to the teacher the reality of the classroom. It's one of our like main focus when we deliver a session. We want to bring that teacher the reality, like tell the teacher the mistakes we made, the mistakes we learned from other teachers, all those things. In that way, they can go and apply all they learn in our classes. So that's, I think, what makes us different. Like we bring that reality of the classroom into the session, telling the good things and the bad things about the approach we are talking about. If we are talking about PBL, which we are next January, or if we are talking about social and emotional learning, if we are talking about cultural transformation in the school, in the institution, we always bring like share the good things and the bad things and all the mistakes we made, all the mistakes we saw that people making, and also a student's testimony and teacher's testimony, which for us they are huge.
Like this year is a little bit special, our sessions, because we are featured speakers with Jenny, Sally, and then with Scott Bricker as well, the five of us. And we have designed our sessions, the five of us, we've worked together in a way that if attendees go to all of our sessions or to some of our sessions, they are gonna see like they are connected. So like the five of us, we're gonna present. We cannot say much, but like it's not gonna be the first conference that we're gonna be featured speakers, the five of us. So like we have designed the learning experience in a way that the sessions that we are going to deliver, that we're gonna present in these conferences, they are connected to each other. So if you go to a Scott session, you're going to see something related to our session. If you go to Jenny and Sally's sessions, you're going to see something that we've talked about in our own session. So like we have designed the whole learning experience in a way that is like a continuous learning throughout the conference.
No, that's awesome. Speaking of the future of educational technology, one of the future kind of instructional practices around digital transformation. So you are entering in this realm, you've left the classroom, and now you're going to be coaching individuals to make this transformation. Can you kind of dig a little deeper onto that and explain your thought process around this field and what digital transformation is?
Go ahead, Mario.
So, yeah. So I think the most important part is not putting the tool in the middle of the approach. Like digital transformation means like you are transforming your approach, you are transforming your practice using technology. But like you are using that technology to enhance whatever you are already doing in your class. It doesn't mean that if you go, for example, to a training and you learn about, I don't know, whatever tool, I'm gonna give whatever example, Edpuzzle, for example. Like you learn about that, and then you come back to your classroom and you are thinking, I really want to use Edpuzzle, Adobe Express, OneNote, Teams, Google Classroom. I mean, whatever tool. It's just an example. I want to use this tool in my approach. How can I create a lesson around that tool? And that is completely wrong. Like that's the opposite of what we want to do. It should be the opposite. I have this amazing lesson that I've been doing the last 2-3 years. Okay, if I look at my at all of the tools that I know how to use, which ones of these many tools, like 5-6 tools, I can use to empower the lesson that I have already created?
So pretty much
when we do that is when like you're gonna see a great result.
when we talk to teachers about this, we always ask them, we always tell them, you need to ask yourself, this tool or this technology is allowing me to do something completely impossible without the tool? If the answer is yes, go ahead and use the tool. If the answer is no, this tool is not giving me anything new, it's pretty much the same thing, don't use it because it's not worth it. It's not meaningful for students. So when we talk about digital transformation, we always talk about culture, school culture and classroom culture. It's not just about the tool, it's about how the tool, this technology allows us to reach to different points that we couldn't do it without the technology.
Yeah, and I think that's great to really break it down that way and give, what I heard there, giving teachers the freedom to be like, this is not what we're doing. And one of the things I often share is if you have to start or if you plan your lesson with, what am I going to do with X today as the tool? Nope, that's not how you approach it. And you said in your intro that you focus on the instruction, the pedagogy. Like I think that's critical. So I'm so excited for your journey and continue to see you grow in this field and make a global impact. And I think really, as I always get excited when I bring on people that I've had a chance to see early and then see them grow, which is awesome. And really, FETC is close to my heart. That's where the first power connections came, of keeping our connections together and then stronger together. That now you have them. Let's stay together. So I always end asking our guests. So we're gonna get 2 answers. So individually, what does stronger together mean to you?
To me, means this. Like the possibility to reach to other people, the possibility to sit down here with you and talk about what we love the most, education. Like to sit down here virtually or sit down in Miami over some nachos and talk about education, talk about like what we love the most, like having that people that that they are there to listen at your ideas, also to learn from them. It's like it's impossible to calculate the value of that. It's just like it's crazy to have that community, those people that are there for you to listen at your ideas, to make those ideas better and to make you better every day. And having that community is just huge and something that we always recommend to teachers. Like you need to find your community, find those people that will support you and no matter what, So to me, means these connections, these like virtually face to face, having that connection with people.
And for me, it's I don't know how to explain it very well, but like
Give it a go.
Educators are like we've been struggling a lot in the past like 2-3 years, and like we're gonna keep struggling. Like we're gonna keep. It's something that we need to deal with like every day in our classrooms. Like we have problems and we have just can be from parents, from administration, for even like a pandemic. Like there are like many problems, or even like we want to be better at what we do, and like and then keep growing. So that is better together. Like it's like your PLN is the group of people that it doesn't matter where they are, if they are here in Spain with us, if they were in Utah with us, or they are in the other side of the world. Like if you have a problem about, I don't know, like a pedagogy problem or a lesson problem, or even like you are having problems with administration or parents or whatever, you know that those people are always going to be there for you. And like, let's say that you want to just bring something super cool in your classroom that you've seen another teacher do it. Like you can go to that teacher and ask that teacher, hey, I've seen you doing this. Like, tell me, like, how do you do it? Like, let's share ideas. I want to get inspired. So that is better together. Like, it doesn't matter what happens, where you are, who you are, that you're like, people are going to have your back, in whatever you do. And that's better together for me.
That's awesome. Well, I am so thrilled to have you jump on unexpectedly. So this worked out, which is great. I'm thrilled for your journey and continue to follow what you're doing. As we've said throughout, make sure to follow them, check out their website, and see them on one of the things on their website is their upcoming events. So make sure to see them. And I look forward to seeing you in person again, probably in New Orleans, but who knows, maybe one time before then. So guys, thanks for jumping on and kicking off season 2.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everything you do for teachers, for everyone. We are really grateful for your support and your guidance sometimes. So thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, stick around for a minute after this, but I hope everyone has a great day. Make sure you continue to work together, because we are stronger together when we put we over me.